Hey everybody, welcome to the Office 365 Pulse. Excited to have the team here to talk about updates that are in development, rolling out, canceled, all the good things. So let's start with in development. Tom, do you want to take us through what you wanted to talk about in development?
Sure, I'll take a couple here. One of them, Microsoft Loop. Tasks in Loop components sync with Planner and To Do. The main reason I'm looking at this one is today in one of the Microsoft 365 Connect sessions we were doing, Sandra was demoing the task list in Loop. So it'd be really nice if this actually synced up with To Do though. And I was like, I seem to vaguely remember that there's a roadmap item that you may not have seen yet that says that's going to happen. And then when I look back, it's like, and there it is. So I think being able to use a task list and actually have it put your information out in To Do so that you can track it again in one place is a really good change. That's supposed to be out in June and is coming to, of course, I clicked the wrong thing. It's coming to Outlook, Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Teams, Planner worldwide. Sorry, all the government clouds. And then OneDrive, updated file sharing experience. So if you're sharing from OneDrive, it was using pretty much the same sharing experience as SharePoint, which looked a little kludgy at times. Now they're actually changing it to where it's much more straightforward, where if you say, I'm going to share this file, it comes up and says, enter a name, add a message, click send, or copy link. And that's how it goes. And you have a nice little display in the corner that says who's actually seeing it, who can possibly have use the link if they have it. So I think it's going to be a lot more straightforward for people to share from OneDrive, and it'll be a lot less confusing to wonder, did I share it with everybody? Did I share it with nobody? It's going to be a lot easier for people. That is actually coming out to everybody and should be out probably by 5 p.m. today. It does say May. So keep an eye open for a tenant near you. You may already have it, but look for that one.
Funny. I've got one that I absolutely love. I could hug the person.
A delighter?
That put this together. It is a delighter, my friends, a delighter. Microsoft Teams see multiple participants and shared content preview in a presenter window when the screen is sharing. So you know how now you go to share screen and then it puts everyone in the meeting in this one little box hidden on the other screen. Now you're actually going to get to see like who has their hand raised and who's talking and all of those things in a presenter mode, just like all the other web apps. I'm very, very excited about this. This one makes me happy. Like I said, I could hug the person who finally made this possible. And that's coming to DoD, GCC, worldwide, GCC High.
Everybody gets one.
Coming to everybody, and it's going to be a glorious day. So that's my exciting one. Tamara, what do you find exciting?
Microsoft Teams' ability for all participants to start collaborative annotations. And the description is not very descriptive. All participants in meetings are now able to start collaborative annotations.
What are we adding annotations to?
I'm hoping you've got like for what you're sharing.
Yeah, if you're sharing your screen, you can turn on collaborative, you can turn on annotations. And it means that you can start drawing pictures on the screen that's being shared. So it's whiteboardish in nature. The only problem is—
I want to draw pictures on people's presentations. Can I do it anonymously?
That I don't remember. But the thing that's really bad is that you do all this annotation stuff and it kind of freezes the screen. So you can't, move the screen once you start this process. But it really doesn't have a way to save those annotations other than it goes, okay, we're saving the annotations, but it doesn't save the background image along with it, or it didn't at least when it first came out. So you kind of had to go through and say, I'm going to capture this whole screen as a JPEG. And now I've got my annotations out there. So it's a little clunky, a little kludgy. Hopefully
maybe that's why it's not releasing till July.
Could be, because I'd like to see it succeed.
In development, that's their try-to date.
Right.
So, let's see. some of the other things, there's a ton of Viva stuff here. So
Mhm.
searching for campaigns, a campaign discovery hub, answers, information panel, out of the box temp. Oh, that's project. Syntax got some OCR, the character recognition stuff is coming in. There's a lot of things in kind of that area. So if you're in the Syntax Viva world, there's probably a lot in development that you want to check out. I don't know if you guys want to dive into any of them specifically, but that's kind of all the rest that I see in development.
I don't have a whole lot more to cover at that particular point. So,
Okay. Well, why don't you kick us off with rolling out, Tom?
and I'm looking at my list going, I actually had yellow things here, and where did they go? And I remember the other day it didn't save properly, and it was like not great. So, yeah, let me look real closely here to see what I can talk about off the spur of the moment. My cuff. So Microsoft Teams expanding up to 10,000 users in distribution lists for lobby policy. So currently, if you change your lobby policy in a Teams meeting to invited users only, an invited distribution list, only the first 1,000 people in that distribution list actually get recognized and let through the lobby. All the others will be kind of placed in the lobby. Now you're going to be able to have all 10,000 people go, yay, and brush the doors and the whole bit. So that'll be nice. And the other one that I'm still don't know if I like, because I've seen people use it. I'm like, good, this is creepy. Microsoft Teams, avatars for Microsoft Teams.
They have no pants.
Well, yeah,
but you don't need pants if you ain't got legs.
Good point.
There's a lot we can go into there, and a lot to unpackage. Avatars for Microsoft Teams give you that much needed camera break while still allowing you to collaborate effectively. You can add a new layer of choice to your meetings and represent yourself the way you would want with customizable avatars and reactions. Rolling out due in May, worldwide. I've seen people use this before. And quite honestly, the avatars look a little creepy. And
Mine
like,
looks great. I almost came to this meeting in an avatar.
I kind of like when you're looking at the avatar and the avatar is kind of like nodding its head and you see their lips move and other things are going on, like, stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, I was in a meeting and it took like all of 2 minutes and they're like, turn that off. That's distracting.
Yeah. Or else.
I think they're fun because I think people will engage. I've seen people
Yes.
engage more with an avatar, people who would never be on camera, but then you have an avatar and everybody's engaging on camera and liking it. So
Yeah, I think it'll take a little while to get used to. I know there was one person in a meeting that I was part of. It wasn't in my company, so if anybody listens to this, no. But they had this avatar, and it's, younger individual, slender, short hair, the whole bit. And they came off their avatar onto video, and this person was much older, much less hair, and was rather large. I'm like, wow, okay, that's a fantasy avatar here. And it was really weird if they actually didn't stick with the avatar to go back to video because it was such a jarring difference. So yeah, I'm still not sure I'm on the avatar bandwagon yet, but I'm old, so I can be convinced.
I was going to say, that's okay, old man.
Boomer, get off my lawn. Tamara, what do you have going on?
Yeah, what do you like, Tamara?
Live captions usability improvement. So the new captions settings pane allows for better discovery and easier navigation. Users have the ability to customize the size and color of their font, as well as the height and position of the caption window, which I think is great, with the option to scroll to review captions of what has been said up to 1 minute ago. So I think it's great that you're going to be able to move that around, because as people are sharing their screen, you're going to want to be able to see what they're doing and still be able to understand what they're saying. And then also, Microsoft Teams, a QR code sign-in on Teams display for hot desking. So this feature helps hot desking users sign in quickly and securely into their Teams display by scanning a QR code using their Teams mobile app on Android phones or iOS phones. And this is rolling out to GCC and worldwide this month. Well, you
Awesome.
should see it.
So I've only got one in this one, and I don't know much about this one, and I will know quickly if it is a delighter or an annoyer, because my team uses OneNote, and if there's anybody that is good at using OneNote, it's my team. Like sometimes they do things and I'm like, well, that is a very effective use of OneNote. But we're getting a new simplified toolbar and modern user experience. So I am guessing I will either hear they love it or holy crap, who moves stuff? So, but it's going to have useful text formatting options and give you quicker access to screen clippings and different things like that you've done. And then makes it easier to transition to OneNote on Windows through the overflow menu. So making it easier to open, I guess. So I'm excited to kind of see where that is. And that's kind of all I had. I don't know if you guys have anything else in rolling out or, all right, let's pass it to Tom for launched.
I'm going to leave the first two where Tamara, because I know she had a conversation with somebody today where this was a topic. So I'm just going to go down to whiteboard commenting. The ability to add comments on a whiteboard to aid in discussion with board participants. This will include a comments pane to see all comments on a given whiteboard. So basically, like if you're in a list or if you're in a Word document or something, you'll see the content pane running down the right-hand side, and you can have content or comments that mention people and stuff like that. Whiteboard's going to the same type of concept. So you'll have common, I think they call it modern comments throughout more of the items now. So that has launched, and you should have it out there in Whiteboard next time you go out and play with it. Tamara, how would you like to take the first two?
I would love to, Tom. Thanks for that intro.
You're welcome.
So the weather this week, no, I'm just kidding. Visio improved interoperability between Visio Web and desktop apps because there's a huge difference right now. There is just a huge difference. So this feature will enable users to open files that were previously not supported for editing in Visio for the web. Users will be able to edit shapes with certain properties like gradients, fills, and ink objects. However, some interactions will be blocked or optimized.
I thought it said compromised.
Or compromised. No, optimized. And then after that, I thought this was a repeat. I'm like looking at feature numbers. I'm comparing the descriptions. Extend the interoperability between Visio Web and desktop apps.
And then extend it.
Mm-hmm. Users will be able to open files that were previously not supported for editing for the web and edit shapes with 1D and 2D protection and additional shape properties. However, some interactions will be blocked or optimized, which doesn't sound like those two go together.
It sounds like next week we're going to get one that says canceled because of a duplicate. I'm just guessing on my Visio interoperability.
They're like really close to each other.
Yeah. Well, I only have two. Office app add-on apps and use them inside of office.com and Office app for Windows. This could be really interesting because the title doesn't really tell you anything, but the inside says apps built for Teams can run in office.com and Office app for Windows. Users will be able to acquire and use these updated Teams apps with their personal tabs without leaving office.com and Office apps for Windows. So you kind of want the same experience no matter where you're going. If you have an app that you're using and doing something and now being able to use it in Office, this could get really exciting. So excited to see where that goes. I think, we've got a training app for Teams to be able to open that inside of Windows or Office could be really cool. It could give you a lot of contextual help there and one way to do it. The other one is Microsoft Teams. This is for Android users. You can track and pause automatic firmware updates for Android-based Teams device in the Teams Admin Center. So if you've got Android devices and you want to track and pause the automatic updates, then you can do that. I'm sure if you're managing devices, you would like to be able to control when the updates roll out. So we have that, and that's all I have. And I guess the only thing is there's one canceled item. Unless, Tom, did you have anything else in launched?
No, Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Well,
Alrighty,
we love
York.
you, but if
No, I don't have anything else.
how about dramatic? Okay, so the canceled item is Purview Compliance Portal. So insider risk management, ability to assign alerts and cases to an owner. This was a duplicate, so they're removing it. So nothing to see here, folks.
Great.
And that's it. That is our show for today.
Fabulous.
Yeah. I think it's a short list because it's a short week.
I agree.
Well, everybody have a great night, afternoon, or morning whenever you happen to watch this replay. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye
Bye,
now.
everyone.
Bye.